So great to be here, and hello everybody. I really appreciate the opportunity to tell you a little bit more about the University of Georgia and the programs that we have. There will be a few points throughout the presentation where there's links posted in my PowerPoint to learn more. If you have a pencil and a paper that you can record those things, feel free. Otherwise, I will give you my personal contact information, and I'm happy to share that information with you at a later time. So anyway, welcome. My name is Nina Sassano. I have been a marine scientist for as long as I can remember. I grew up along the coast in New Jersey and have kind of found my way down to Georgia, but all along the way, I've always been interested in the ocean and the estuaries and everything under the water. I have a bachelor's degree in marine science and a master's degree in biology, where I studied the reproduction of sea nettle jellyfish and how that connects to human development. And since then, I've been kind of in the education realm where I teach people about marine science. I bring people out in the field, on the boats, we do fishing, we do all kinds of stuff, because while I love research, I really love teaching and getting to know people. And that's what makes my role special here with the University of Georgia, is that I am the intern coordinator. So I get to work with college students and recently graduated students and graduate students who are pursuing their careers in marine science. With that being said, I'm going to share a little bit of information about the University of Georgia's marine science program in general. And then I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into our organization and the student opportunities we have available. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor for just Q&A. Feel free to ask me questions about our program specifically, or questions you may have when it comes to getting into this career and what next steps to take. I am happy to provide any insight that I might have. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you will see my presentation. All right, so like I said, I am with the University of Georgia. Technically, I'm with the University of Georgia Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant. Georgia Sea Grant is part of a national cooperative of Sea Grant programs. You may have heard of Sea Grant wherever you are. And the marine extension portion of where we're from is more so just working with commercial industries, the commercial fishermen in the state and things like that. I'll get more into that in a minute. I just wanted to give you a brief overview of the marine science opportunities we have at the University of Georgia. UGA, which is the University of Georgia, has a department in marine science that has a lot of different opportunities for students. First and foremost, there's an ocean science major. It's a Bachelor of Science, where you get interdisciplinary understanding of the structure and function of marine systems. And this could be anywhere from studying plankton to studying marine mammals. There's a little bit of something for everybody, and you could get introduced to all different things. You could also be a biology major with a marine biology area of emphasis. So this is for people who want to have an extreme focus on marine biology, but still get that biology degree. UGA also has something that's called a double dog dual degree. Say that 3 times fast. This is an opportunity for students to take an extra year, but to accomplish getting a bachelor's and a master's degree at the same time. For those who are non-biology, non-marine biology majors, there's also certificates that you could get while enrolled at UGA that give you hands-on outdoor learning, a little boost on your resume in marine sciences. And then there's spring and summer semesters study away programs. And this is all part of the ocean science major when you're enrolled in the ocean science major. Also available to non-UGA students to participate in research at UGA's marine institutes. And I'll get a little bit more into all of these things. Once again, the ocean sciences major will get students ready with the skills and tools that you needed to design, carry out, and interpret scientific studies. So this major is really preparing you for a career in marine science. And a career in marine science can be so many different things. Like in this picture, you could be a scientist aboard a research vessel in Antarctica, or you could be an educator like me. So this major gives you the opportunity to kind of explore all of the different options that there are in the career of marine sciences, as well as in environmental science. Brian Hopkinson is in charge of this program. So if you have more questions about the ocean sciences major, how to get involved, what the admissions process is, all of that, go ahead and shoot Brian an email. You can find his email here on this slide, or you can just go to UGA's Marine Science Department website, and all of that information is right there for you. Like I said, as part of the Ocean Sciences undergraduate major, there is something called the Study Away program on the coast. And this gives you more of an in-depth experience learning marine science topics and getting to do your own independent research project while living on the coast. So you're being immersed, you're being put into a field setting for a given amount of time during either the spring or the summer semester, and you're working with professional science mentors who have been in the field for years and years, and who will help you get the experiences that you want, but also help mentor you through your own independent research project. One of the places that you can do this is the UGA Marine Institute at Sapelo Island. For those of you unfamiliar with Georgia's coast, we have 100 miles of coastline, most of which is still state and federally protected. And so it's the wildest coast we have on the east coast of the United States. And the state of Georgia actually has 1/3 of the salt marshes that the entire east coast of the United States has. And so it's a gorgeous place to be able to be a marine scientist and to study the wild environment. Most of the barrier islands have not been developed, have not been used for industry. It's pretty special. And so Sapelo Island is one of those islands that has barely been used for anything other than science. And so we have a marine field station out there, and it's an incredible place for students and scientists to come and get work done. As a student on Sapelo Island, you could get instructional time in the lab, in the field, and aboard research vessels. We provide housing to students, as well as scholarships for anybody who might need some financial assistance to get out there. And this background picture is a picture of the Institute on Sapelo Island. And the main things here that students really get out of it is the immersion. So you're really being immersed in field-based activities, mentorship, you're getting paired with professional scientists in the field, and engagement, you're engaged in the community, you're engaged within the realm of the research world and scholars. And so you're getting a really unique experience. Damon Gannon is in charge of this program. So if you have any questions specifically about the study away at Sapelo Island, I recommend that you reach out to Damon. His contact info is right on this slide. Or you can visit ugami.uga.edu to find out more information. We also have the Skidway Institute of Oceanography as part of our collective marine science campuses here at the University of Georgia. The Skidway Institute of Oceanography is located near Savannah, Georgia. So it's a little bit north of the one I was just talking about. Again, you're getting multidisciplinary research and training. There's opportunities here for both undergraduate and graduate students. We just started a new program where undergraduate students could choose to come to the Skidway Institute of Oceanography as part of that ocean science major. This would be a semester away as well. What's in the picture there is the RV Savannah. That's a pretty large research vessel that is used both for UGA's purposes, but also often used by NOAA and the EPA and larger organizations to conduct field research. So there's an opportunity for you to get aboard that ship if you feel like NOAA might be one of your future career plans. What a great experience to meet some of those people. For more info on the Skidway Institute of Oceanography, you can visit the website that's linked right here, www.skio.uga.edu. So that was kind of an overview of the university's marine science department in general. I'm going to talk more now about the specific program that I work for, that is the Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant. We have a ton of student opportunities. Providing opportunities for students is one of the things that we really pay attention to, and something that we really find very valuable here. So as a student working with the UGA Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant, you're being part of our mission to improve the environmental and economic health of the Georgia coast through research, education, and outreach. So we do a little bit of everything. We do research, we do a lot of education for pre-K to adult audiences, and we also do outreach into the communities. And this is just a short little video I'm going to show you that kind of tells you a little bit more about what we do at the UGA Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant. If anybody's having a trouble hearing this, just let me or Robin know, and I will adjust my screen sharing settings.
Georgia's coast. 100 miles of beaches, salt marshes, and maritime forests are home to an incredible diversity of plant and animal life. For more than 40 years, Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant has worked with people on the coast, helping them understand the environment and how to live and work responsibly in it.
The Sea Grant Network was created back in 1966. We act as a bridge between the communities and the university system.
The Georgia Sea Grant and Marine Extension has been very key in helping with development of fisheries.
We've had this lab here since the 1980s, so we've been involved in shellfish research, predominantly clam aquaculture at the beginning, and then a lot of oyster work over the years.
Over these 30, 40 years, the biggest thing has been the development of trust. The fact that we are actually in the community working side by side with our fishermen really makes us unique, because we're not in here one day and gone the next, we're still here.
After years of building trusting relationships with the community, Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant specialists are helping people on the coast adapt and respond to a changing environment.
So microplastics are pieces of plastic that have a length or largest diameter no larger than 5 millimeters.
We started a project to really look at abundance and distribution of microplastics so that we can have a better picture of what's going on along the coast of Georgia.
Blackgill is a condition that we see in shrimp. The decline that we've seen since about 2000 has been due to this parasite that causes blackgill. It was the #1 call from stakeholders that Sea Grant was getting. What are you going to do about blackgill? We've developed a smartphone application that allows anybody to report. We have a much better view of what's going on with blackgill in our whole state.
3 of the top 5 highest water levels have occurred in the last 3 years. These flood events are increasing, and it is important that Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant assist local communities in becoming more resilient and safer. I worked with the city of Tybee Island to create the first sea level rise plan in the state of Georgia. After that, I worked with the city of St. Mary's to create their own flood resiliency plan.
Our projects tend to have those immediate impacts that affect citizens in coastal Georgia. What I'm most excited about is probably our efforts related to aquaculture, because people will be able to derive their livelihoods off of that, and that will lead to more people living in coastal Georgia.
For generations, Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant has bridged the gap between research and communities. Now they educate for the future.
Marine Education Fellowship is a 50-week opportunity for college graduates. They are getting on-the-job training of how to teach marine science concepts, coastal ecology concepts, to students of all ages.
The Canals Fellowship places highly qualified graduate students in one-year fellowship positions in the Washington, D.C. area. It was a bridge for me from graduate school to the job I have now.
Through a long-standing commitment to research, extension, and education, Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant plays a key role in improving Georgia's coastal communities.
Georgia Sea Grant and Marine Extension are a really vital cog in the scientific and educational communities in this state.
Any individual, any community can come to us for technical and scientific information to inform their choices.
Our role is to really connect with the public, to educate them, to make them more aware of the environment, the coastal environment, and more importantly, why is it that they should care about that natural environment.
When you care about a place, care about an area, care about an issue, then you work harder to be a part of solutions, you work harder to be part of conservation efforts, and you become true stewards of the coastal area.
So that's a quick overview of the kinds of things that we do here at the UGA Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant. As you kind of saw in that video, you saw a little bit of people talking about research projects like the Black Gill project that they're doing with shrimp. Talking about resilience, we have a full resilience team here who helps to protect resilient coasts against natural hazards like storms and things like that. And then we have an education team. And so all of the things that we do with the UGA Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant are devoted to the coast. We have locations throughout the state. So in the most northern part of the state, in a city called Athens, Georgia, that's where the main campus of the University of Georgia is. That's where our resilience team is housed out of, although they do spend a lot of time on the coast. That's also where we conduct our research and grant programs. And that's where our general administration is. That's where our directors are. And then as you move down the coast to Savannah, which is that second pinpoint on the map here, the second one down, the middle one, that's called Skidaway Island, Georgia. It's right outside of Savannah, Georgia. This is where we have our Marine Education Center and Aquarium. So this is where we do a lot of our K-12 education. We have school groups that will come and visit us for field trips. And we also have summer camps all summer long where we're just teaching marine science. We also have public programs for adults and families. And we have our marine education fellowships, which I'll talk a little bit more about later in the presentation. Also on Skidaway Island is the Shellfish Research Lab. So this is where we do our aquaculture. We have an oyster hatchery here that provides oysters to local oystermen. We have coastal restoration, so we're putting in living shorelines across the coast. And we also run our Adopt a Wetland program, which brings community scientists into the environment to help conduct research. Our most southern location is in Brunswick, Georgia. This is where we have our extension agents. So fisheries and seafood extension. We have a whole safe seafood program that works with restaurants and chefs to make sure that the seafood that they are preparing and serving is safe and local. We also have sustainable land use programs out of Brunswick. We do a lot of stormwater work, a lot of native plants, and we also have our coastal water resource management. So as a student, you are, the possibilities for you to get involved in any one of these situations at either any of these locations is there for you. So getting into our student opportunities, I'm not sure how many graduate students we have in the audience right now, but as you move forward, maybe once you get through college and you're looking into being a graduate student, we have national fellowships open for graduate students. So the Canals Marine Policy Fellowship is under NOAA, which is the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration. This is a 12-month paid position where you're placed with either an office in the legislative or the executive branch of the government, and you're really thrown into marine policy management. So if you're thinking about a career where you want to be involved with politicians and maybe land in DC, this is a great fellowship for you to consider. We also have a Digital Coast Fellowship, which is a 2-year fellowship for graduate students interested in coastal resource management and policy. And then we have our Marine Fisheries Sea Grant Joint Fellowship. Again, this is for PhD students, so maybe a little bit further down the career for you, but this is for people interested in getting hands-on experience in population dynamics and marine resource economics. As you move forward, you can see whenever you are ready to apply, you can see these application windows. These are also all available on our Student Opportunities webpage. We have state fellowships. These are for recent college graduates who want to experience marine science, ecology, and all different kinds of things in the field of marine science. So our state fellowships will put graduate students right in the office of a local, state, and federal agency so that you can see how these people work. So this is for people who are in their master's degree and want to get that experience in the field. So hands-on experiential learning in coastal policy management. We have a legal fellowship. So this is for people enrolled in a law program with the University of Georgia. And you're kind of learning how it would be to be a marine science or an environmental lawyer to protect the coast. And our research traineeship, which is actually open for application right now, is open to undergraduate students or graduate students seeking support and mentorship. So this is providing funds to students who want to do their own research. This is actually only open to people in Georgia. So if you are currently in Georgia and you're interested in this opportunity, check it out on our Student Opportunities page. The Marine Education Fellowship is one that I manage directly. That application is also open right now. It's open till March 14th. And this is for people who have just recently finished college, who want to get experience in education, research, and husbandry. And I will get more into that in a second. Finally, we have internships for currently enrolled undergraduate students. And so this is something that you might be interested in as you go through your undergraduate degree. This is not only open to University of Georgia students, it's open to students at any university, all of these opportunities. The focus areas for the internships are very, very broad. They include communications, aquarium science. You can get involved in the shellfish lab. You could work with our stormwater experts. You could teach summer camps all summer. Resilience, as you can see, you can read the list. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but we have internship opportunities for just about everything that we do. Our internships, some can be done remotely and so many can be done in person. So if you live in Georgia or if you live in the area during the semester, these would be great opportunities for you. During the summer, you can actually come and live on campus with us and do these internships for the summer. So those opportunities are all available. You can check out more about our student internships on our webpage, and I will go ahead and show that in the last slide so that you can get that information. I want to talk a little bit more about our Marine Education Fellowship. This is, like I said, this is designed for individuals who have finished their bachelor's degree, but are kind of in between. They're not sure what the next steps are. Maybe you've spent a year or two working and you're not really quite ready to go to grad school, but you don't have a full-time job yet. This is the position that that's where these fellows come from. This is a 50-week position based at the Marine Education Center and Aquarium on Skidaway Island. And so these fellows are getting experience in aquarium education and husbandry, where you're working right with our aquarists in the back of the aquarium to help take care of the animals living there. You're also getting experience teaching, and you get to conduct your own research project. We have marine education and outreach fellows whose specific goals throughout the fellowship are teaching and outreach and creating curriculum and program development and all kinds of things. They also, all three of these types of fellows do get the opportunity to do their own research project or their own education project. And then we have a coastal extension track in our fellowship in which that fellow would be involved with our extension agents, getting involved in the community, doing a lot of the aquaculture work, working with commercial fishermen, working with our sustainable seafood program. So this fellowship is really for people who are interested in getting a broad range of experience after you've graduated in the field of marine science, kind of not sure what you want to do yet. You love to teach, you love to learn these things. This is the position for you. And these are just a few quotes I pulled from people who have been through our fellowships. Jennifer Malik she is currently a marine mammal specialist, and she was a Knaus fellow, and now she's running a center in Alaska. And then Emily Little is a former marine education fellow, so she focused a lot on teaching, and she's currently also in a full-time marine science education position in South Carolina. So a lot of the people who go through these fellowships do end up going straight into a career and doing pretty amazing things in the field of marine science. So here is our website that kind of tells about our student opportunities, as well as my personal contact information. If you saw anything through this presentation that you want to know more about, or you want to just chat with me one-on-one, you can send me an email. Otherwise, you can check out all of the student opportunities with the UGA Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant, going to gacoast.uga.edu/student-opportunities. And with that, I will open the floor for any questions. Feel free to follow us on all of the social media platforms that we have listed below.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Nina, so much for sharing. It looks like we do have a couple questions for you. So someone is wondering, can you talk a little bit more about the Double Dog program for your master's? Are you eligible for scholarship opportunities? Can you touch a little bit on that?
I believe that the Double Dog program is eligible for scholarship opportunities, and I think that you can make that decision in your first year. Again, I am not with the admissions at the main campus, and so I would encourage you to dig a little deeper. All of the information is on the UGA's main web page for undergraduate students, where you can find out the process of getting involved in the Double Dogs program. I will say I have worked with quite a few Double Dogs, and they are really awesome students and really great people and doing awesome things in their career. So that if that is something that you're interested in, I do really encourage you to look more into that.
Awesome, thanks. Someone else is wondering, what makes your program unique? So what makes it stand out to maybe potential grad students or undergrad students?
Oh, there's so many things. Aside from the general amount of things that we do, so the extension work and the education and the research, all of the things that UGA Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant does, and the work we do with the community, which makes it unique in and of itself. I mean, a lot of places will do one or the other, or a little bit of each of those things. I haven't seen very many places that really get involved in everything. But aside from that, and that awesome aspect of it, this team that we work with I've worked a lot of places, and I've done a lot of things in my career as an environmental scientist and as a marine scientist. And I have never worked with such a spectacular team of people who genuinely care about the coast and genuinely care about each other and everybody's success. When we have students come in, it is our priority to make sure that they are making the most of their time with us and getting the most experience and support that they might need. And I haven't, I've been hard pressed to find another group of people that truly, like, it's in their heart to make that happen, not only to protect the coast, but to keep this career going and to help students get on their path.
Great, thanks. Someone else is wondering, do you guys ever partner, or are there internship opportunities with the Georgia Aquarium?
Great question. We don't partner with the Georgia Aquarium for our internship opportunities. They have their own huge set of internship opportunities. They have aquarium science internships, they have education internships, they have everything that that would be under that roof. And I don't have anything bad to say about the Georgia Aquarium. I think that's an awesome place. We are also an aquarium. It is very different from the Georgia Aquarium. We don't have whales or dolphins or anything. We have much more limited space. So if you're looking for that huge aquarium experience, I would encourage you to look at the Georgia Aquarium. Sometimes we do offer trips to the Georgia Aquarium. It is about 4.5 hours away from our aquarium on Skidaway Island. So the short answer is we don't partner with them. We do partner with a lot of other agencies, a lot of state agencies, a lot of other universities. We try to, connect students with a diverse group of people so that they can network and get as great of an experience as they can while they're with us. But most of that is done locally to either Savannah or Brunswick, Georgia, where the Marine Education Center and the Brunswick office are located.
Awesome, thanks. Someone is asking, what are things that I can do as a high school student that would make me a better candidate for your program?
Great question. So as a high school student, you are just starting out, and that's incredible. And if you have a local nature center, if you have a local aquarium close to where you live, if you have these opportunities to get out and participate as a volunteer in some of these things, that's something I would definitely recommend. As a high school student, I volunteered at an aquarium near where I grew up, and I got a lot of that experience. I got behind the scenes and hands-on experience with the teaching and with some of the research that we do, or that is done as a marine scientist. And I know that moving forward in my career, having that experience going into college was really, really helpful. So any ways that you can get involved to maybe even take like a more in-depth summer camp experience, if you're able to, I encourage you to look into a program called Marine Quest at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. They have an overnight high school geared camp where you can spend a week really working with professors and researchers and people at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, and there's scholarships available for that program as well. And experiences like that are really helpful for your application. But if you're not able to do those things, don't worry, just convey that you have a passion for this, that this is something you want to do. This is why you want to do it. When you submit your applications to college, you can just show your interest in other ways if you're not able to get out and to visit these places or to volunteer.
Great, thanks. So I'm sure this is a big topic now, but someone is wondering, are you a test optional school?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm so sorry. I, again, will direct you to the main Marine Science program webpage. I'm a little bit removed from main campus, being out here in Savannah, and so I wish I had a better answer for you, but that can be found on our website.
Yeah, and someone else is wondering, what is campus life like where you're at? Because you're, again, not at the main campus. So what is campus life like?
Yeah, so I do visit main campus about once a month as part of my job. And so main campus, I hear nothing but great things from students about living on main campus. There's a lot of students in Athens. Georgia is a super awesome place. A lot of the students who work with me have been UGA students, and they loved their experience. They had no problem making friends. There was plenty of extracurricular opportunities, plenty of clubs and organizations to join. So in terms of main campus, it seems like a pretty incredible place to be. Our campus is remote, so it's a lot smaller. So we have a much more tight-knit set of students here learning and working with our mentors. So you get more of like a one-on-one or even a one-on maybe 2 or 3 kind of experience with a professor and other students. You're getting a much more intimate learning experience. You're getting a lot closer to some of the other students that you are out here with because it is a smaller dorm. So that semester, I think, is really special for the people who do get to do it. But keep in mind, each of those semesters away are on islands. And so there's no Target around the corner. So those basic conveniences, you're kind of living without those too, which I think makes the experience even more special, but can be challenging for some people.
Awesome. And I think this is our last question. So what is your favorite thing about your school / what is your favorite thing about your job?
Awesome. So Okay, when I went to undergrad, I did undergrad in New Jersey at a place called Stockton University. We didn't have a football team. We didn't have any kind of major school spirit compared to University of Georgia, where everybody is excited. It doesn't matter who you have pride. And we have an awesome football team. And it's like in a movie where the whole town shuts down on football days. And it's a really fun environment. Everybody enjoys all the extracurricular things in it. And I think they really support their students and they really support their employees. So you have really happy faculty too. You have teachers who want to be there teaching. You have students who want to be there learning. And I really love that about this school. Really fosters a sense of place and being and diversity. There is great diversity here too. So I love that about the university. About my job, what's not to love? I get to be on the boat some days. I get to be on the beach some days. I get to be with kindergartners, maybe in the morning, and in the afternoon, I'm bagging oyster shells to build a living shoreline. Working with college students is the most rewarding part of my job. I really love helping people get going in their careers or help find their direction. I mean, sometimes they realize they don't even want to be marine scientists after seeing what it's actually like, and that's helpful too. I mean, that is, and following up with students and people after they've left working with me who tell me that was the best experience, that helped me get here in my career. You taught me how to mentor people, all of these things. It's just so rewarding, and I just can't imagine being in a better place in terms of my career.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. We do have one more question that just snuck on in. Are there any internships available for international early career researchers?
So in terms of, you can be an intern as an international student, and we are working on expanding those opportunities. It would have to be remote unless you were able to come do a semester on our campus. That would take a little bit more effort and might not happen right away, but it is something that we can discuss. In terms of remote internships that you could get involved with at an international level, I would reach out. If you're interested in the research end of things, you can email me, or you can email people over at the Skidaway Institute of Oceanography, because they are very, very involved in research, and there's probably some data you can help crunch. On my end, at the university with the Marine Extension and Georgia Sea Grant, we might be able to place you remotely with some of the research that we have going on in Brunswick. It's kind of just, we want to do our best to align what we do and what you do with your internship to make the most out of your experience. So we would just have to talk a little bit more about what it is you're looking for, what kind of research you're interested in, and find you the best match.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all the time we have and all the questions we have. So thank you so much, Nina, and to the University of Georgia for presenting today. And we wish all of our attendees the best of luck in your next steps. Again, you could always reach out and ask questions on the agenda page for this. And I believe Nina gave you her contact info as well. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks again, Nina.
Thank you. Take care.